Hey guys, welcome back to Wedding on Wheels. In this video, I am going to be discussing a fear I had going into the wedding. In the days leading up to the wedding, my stress level was through the roof. It never felt as if I was going to get everything done. Once family and friends started piling in, and we arrived in the city we were getting married in, to begin pre-wedding festivities, I sort of relaxed. At that point I could say, if it hadn't got done, screw it. It wasn't going to be a part of the wedding. It was time to celebrate. Back to my fear. I have always feared one thing about my wedding, that whoever I married would be called a hero. In my experience, dates, boyfriends, friends, would get exalted for going out with me. Random people would praise them for basically sacrificing themselves to go on a date with me, or for dancing with that girl, or being in a relationship with that girl. Now, there are several implications at play here that I don't think people realize that this is what they are saying. Let's look at the definition of a hero. What is a hero? A hero is a person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Quotes, does he show courage because I am this scary creature? I do have fangs, but I wore them for Halloween once a couple of years back. And I am definitely a scary force you do not want to interact with. Before I have my morning cup of coffee. So how about his being a hero for his outstanding achievement? I will take it. I am the best prize. I just don't think this is what they are saying. People with disabilities are often seen as inferior or dependent, just because we may need assistance in accomplishing some things. So the description that would be best applied is of him having noble qualities from being with me. This implies either he is noble for being with me, because it must be hard and require sacrificing, or he is noble for seeing past my disability, because he sees me as a person, and not just the disability. Let's say his noble characteristics stem from how challenging it is to be with me. I will be the first to admit there are things that I lack in a relationship that other wives may be able to provide. My husband gets the brawn title in the relationship. He is better at being the muscle. I can't tell you how many times my husband has had his hands full of boxes or breakable items, and I wished he could hand them to me. Watching him perform a balancing act with his line of vision blocked can be entertaining for a moment. However, I usually help the situation by becoming his eyes. No person has every ability in the world to be efficient at everything. And successful couples each bring strengths and weaknesses to the table. Sometimes in a relationship, each person's strengths are complementary to the other person's weakness. And this is precisely how my husband and I operate. We are definitely a puzzle piece, like yin and yang, who fits together perfectly to make a whole circle. He is good at being innovative, whether for us or specifically for me. He always wants anything to be possible. If there is an obstacle, he always finds ways to mitigate it. Since I have a little more challenges or barriers than others, he is constantly quoting, "Don't let your memes be dreams," to me. I am good at planning and organizing. Just recently, we tried to have a dinner and game night with both my mom and his mom. Initially, he contacted the moms since he was enthused about it. When he discovered they had both decided to bring similar food, he quickly gave me back the job as coordinator. I think it's a man thing, but fleshing out details is not his strong suit. He is also good at making me see past the small, insignificant details. I can get overwhelmed if I have too much going on. I get tunnel vision, usually about a small detail that, in reality, has no bearing in the end. He'll redirect my line of thinking, or show me another way to look at the situation. While I am also good at helping him stay focused and organized. The point I am making to you is, it is not unusually hard to be with me. If it were, no one would sacrifice their whole life to be in a relationship if it was all hard. Well, beyond the expected sacrifices, let's examine my second possible implication. My husband shows noble qualities because he sees past my disability. This is the dream for most people with disabilities. To see us as a person first, and not dependent or solely alive to inspire. I hate the word inspiration. I will talk about this in a later video. It is a pet peeve of mine and many other people with disabilities. But anyway, on the hero topic, every person should be known for their personality, hopes, dreams, quirks, and not just one identifying characteristic. Instead of being admired, that he sees past my disability. I want to see a world where that is the norm, instead of a rarity. When people are characterized and identified by one trait, it can have devastating effects on how they are treated by others, let alone how they see themselves. A quote I often use is by the Easter Seals. It states, "How we speak about others can make a very big difference in how they see themselves." In the midst of all this political uproar about name-calling, coded messages, and inequality, I hope to shed light on what these words portray. To me, words do shape our thoughts and understanding of the world. They're in a research study by Lara Borodsky, an assistant professor at Stanford University. It was found that the role of language changes the way people think. They examined how different languages focus on various perceptions of reality. For example, I know a little Spanish, and one verb in Spanish can tell me who is doing the action, how many, and if it was current, past or present. Some languages pay attention to time, space, distance, or even direction. The results of the study showed that when you learn a new language, you learn a new way of thinking. Language is the key to changing the way people view people with disabilities. I am going to deal with this a lot in future videos. Please tell me what you think. Please leave a comment. What do you think about the hero complex? What do you think about language, and how we use it? You may also email me at the address in the description box. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, so you can watch more of my videos.